All right, YouTube. Once again, it's Kennard Vernon Stewart here for the podcast. We're talking Auburn football. Go ahead and like the video, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you leave your comments because we get a lot of information from the comment section, and it's always great to be an Auburn Tiger, War Eagle. Right now, Auburn boasts the number 7th ranked recruiting class in the country. Now, the reason why this is excellent news is because Auburn is the 7th ranked team with the majority of the targets already signed. One good thing about Auburn during the early signing period, getting the main targets on, and now being able to not only shore up some guys that might be straggling around, but Auburn is in the mix to flip with Mr. Broderick Jones out of Lithonia, Georgia. Now, not to take away from this particular video, though, Auburn has done a very good job of recruiting of defensive ends / defensive tackles in this particular recruiting class. It shows a sign of the fact that Auburn is really starting to have a perception that, hey, if I go to Auburn as a defensive lineman, there's a good chance that I may make it to the league. You talk about like D. Ford, Carl Lawson, and now you're talking about a situation where you had 2 defensive linemen all year out of Marlon Davidson and Derek Brown, who basically played rock, paper, scissors every week as to who was going to be the defensive player of the week. Derek Brown subsequently wound up being the SEC defensive player of the year. We said at the beginning of the year, we thought Derek Brown needed to be in beast mode in order for Auburn to be solid on defense. He did that and then some. We thought he needed to have like Nick Fairley-ish numbers right up there with him. Now, moving forward, see, a lot of folks don't realize how important it is for you to already be good, so to speak. Auburn has garnished a reputation over the past few years to have one of the better defenses, more sound defenses in the country, and that has been anchored by the defensive line. This recruiting class, the prior recruiting class in 2019, showed a continual priority for Auburn to keep this thing going. You talk about when you rank all the recruits in the 2020 recruiting class, average of about 93%. Now, if we know a little bit about 24/7 rankings and all of it, these guys usually pretty much get it right, especially at the base level at high school. Now, how these kids' talent transfer over, of course, they can't factor in the elevated work ethic and diet and all that other stuff and coachability, things of that nature. But for the most part, with all elements involved, the numbers usually don't lie. Derek Brown was thought to be a once-in-a-lifetime talent. Guess what? Turned out it's so. Marlon Davidson, not necessarily a once-in-a-lifetime talent, but pretty good. See, those numbers don't lie. Now, Auburn is in a situation in 2020 where the defensive line is going to continue to anchor this particular defense. Now, the good news is you don't have to worry about replacing a guy like Derek Brown because it's not happening anyway. But what you do have is a versatility on the defensive line that can help somewhat supplement. You ain't going to replace him. You can somewhat supplement. You're not going to replace a Marlon Davidson, but you can somewhat supplement him. What gave me the encouragement of this defensive line was the performance in like midway through the first, second quarter against Oregon. Nick Cole is subbed out. Tyrone Truesdale comes in. Things got better. That's good news. Tyrone Truesdale can't actually anchor this defensive line, in my opinion. Also got T.D. Moultrie, Big Cat Bryant returning. Derek Hall was a nice contributor. And Kobe Wooten, who had spare playing time, made a nice play against Tulane. Either was Tulane or Mississippi State. So it's kind of ironic that these defensive linemen, when they pick one up, it increases the recruiting ranking. I think Auburn is in great shape. I do think what the success of Derek Brown and Marlon Davidson is going to continue to be big for Auburn. Auburn just recently signed the number 1 defensive end recruit in junior college. Dude used to go, he's actually from Covington, Georgia. If anybody knows proximity-wise where Covington, Georgia is, kind of east of Atlanta. just past Lithonia, where Broderick Jones is from. As a matter of fact, Covington is a little bit further east. You keep going down to, so it's a little bit further down though. Definitely a great athlete. Picked him up on the junior college market. I think Auburn is in a great position. You look at the schedule coming from next year. Got a video coming soon on the predicted outcome of Auburn's season based on the schedule and based on projected depth charts, things of that nature. But Auburn is definitely becoming defensive line U in their own right. Once again, it's Kennard Vernon Stewart here for the podcast. Glad to be back doing the videos again. Took a couple of days off. Had to kind of regroup because it's about to get real hectic here in the next few days with the recruiting at hand. Just keep in mind, Broderick Jones from Lithonia, who I think is still 60-40. He goes to Georgia 60% of my prediction, 40% to Auburn. But his last visit is on the campus of Auburn University, January the 31st. If you're already a subscriber, tell one of your friends about Vernon Speaks Sports Auburn. We talk about Auburn like it's nobody's business. Go ahead and like the video, comment, and subscribe to my channel, our channel. It's all about Auburn, War Eagle.